The tiny Oriental Crips, TOC, are an Asian, Laotian American street gang based on the west side of Linda Vista and parts of the Mira Mesa, in the central neighborhood of San Diego, California. The tiny Oriental Crips are primarily consist of Laotians, but also include Hmong and Vietnamese as well as descendants of Khmer. The tiny Oriental Crips share their neighborhood, Linda Vista, with the Linda Vista Crips and the Linda Vista 13, Hispanic Chiranos gang. The tiny Oriental Crips have been active on the streets of San Diego for over 20 years with around 50 or 60 documented members. They tend to align themselves with African American street gangs, who falls under the Crip umbrella. The tiny Oriental Crips can be found throughout the United States, in places such as Sacramento, Arizona, Temecula Valley and the Riverside County. In 2012, the tiny Oriental Crips were part of a 12-month federal meth investigation and a massive 3-day gang sweep in San Diego, neighborhoods such as Linda Vista, Oak Park, Claremont Mesa, and City Heights, which resulted in over 30 arrests of individuals with ties to the Linda Vista Crips, Oriental Mob Crips, Viet Boys, and the Logan Heights Gang, Kale Trinta. The investigation was dubbed Crystal Palace 2 by federal agents and detectives, who confiscated 52 weapons such as 9mm, 9 handguns and high-powered assault rifles, AK-47s and AR-15s, with extended magazines. The large drug-scale operation, mainly meth, were being transported from Super Lab in Mexico. In 2002, Eric Hungla and Down Yang, two active members of the tiny Oriental Crips, were accused of a drive-by shooting that took place in front of Hancock Billiard Hall, Pool Hall, owned by Don Su. The Pool Hall was a popular hangout for Asian gangs, located on Conway Street, around Engineer Road. The attended targets were members of the Asian Crips and the Tiny Rascals gang. However, the only victims were the Pool Hall owner, Don Su, who was struck by a stray bullet and died 3 days later, and 2 innocent bystanders who were also wounded. In 2008, Down Yang was already in prison for non-related charges, when he was arrested on suspicion of murder. In 2012, Eric Hungla and Down George Yang were both convicted for the murder of Don Su, who were 41 years old at the time of the shooting. Eric Hungla was sentenced to 96 years in prison and Down Yang was sentenced to 101 years in prison. The tiny Oriental Crips are allies of the Linda Vista Crips and the Oriental Killer Boys as well as the Oriental Mafia Crips. They mainly feud with other Asian American street gangs in San Diego, such as Oriental Boy Soldiers and the Asian Crips as well as the Asian Insane Bloods.